This is the third generation Volkswagen Tiguan. This practical compact SUV benchmark needs no introduction. However, European car makers feel the Far Eastern competition breathing down their necks. Should Volkswagen be concerned with models like the Forting T5? Let's find out. You'll find reviews of both of these crossovers on my channel. Links are in the video description. If you're new here, subscribe and press the bell icon to get notifications about new reviews and comparisons I post. Channel members get to watch new episodes weeks and sometimes even months in advance, and without any ads. And now, let's get on with the comparison. I'll be looking at design, boot space, rear seats, cockpits, powertrain, ride and handling. No off-road test today because both of these cars are front-wheel drive. And both of these cars are powered by 1.5-liter petrol engines, 150 horsepower in the VW and 177 horsepower in the T5. How will that impact performance? More about that in a moment. And now, let's take a good look at our contenders.
At first glance, the Tiguan and the T5 may look completely different, but their external dimensions are similar. The German crossover is slightly smaller than the Chinese one, at least on the outside. Volkswagen has 454 centimeters in length and the Forting 456.5 centimeters. The width is 184 and 186 centimeters respectively, height 166 and 169 centimeters, and the wheelbase 268 and 271.5 centimeters. From design point of view, the Tiguan is very conservative. It doesn't scream, it whispers. The T5, on the other hand, screams, "Look at me!" At least from the front, as there isn't much happening on the side. But from the back end, Forting displays two double exhaust tips, and they are functional. The Chinese aren't ashamed to show there's still an internal combustion engine in there somewhere, while the European brands prefer what I call a powertrain innuendo. Drop me a comment, which one of these cars do you like better?
Both car makers are very optimistic about their boot volume results. 652 liters in the Tiguan can be achieved by sliding the seat forward, adjusting the backrest to their upright position, and getting rid of the mini spare or the repair kit. What you see here is about 470 liters.
Dimensions. The boot is 89 centimeters deep, 107 centimeters with the rear seat all the way forward. Width between the wheel arches is 100 centimeters, height up to the parcel shelf is 41 centimeters or 49 centimeters if you drop the false floor. The parcel shelf fits under the false floor. There are shopping bag hooks and anchor points to secure luggage, there's a 12-volt outlet, and there are levers to fold backrests in the second row. The mini spare may be an option depending on the market. The boot can be opened and closed with gesture.
Also, Forting is liberal with the boot capacity figures in the T5, albeit not quite as much as VW. 480 liters in 5-seat configuration is achievable when you get rid of the styrofoam insert and the mini spare. What you get here is about 400 liters.
Dimensions. The boot is 85 centimeters deep and 101 centimeters wide between the wheel arches. The height to the cargo cover is 40 centimeters. The boot floor cannot be dropped unless we get rid of the spare wheel. There are no anchor points, no shopping bag hooks, no 12-volt outlet. The tailgate is electrically operated, but there is no gesture control.
We move into the rear seat. In the VW, the doors cover the sills. I'm 175 centimeters tall, the driver's seat is set to my driving position, and with the rear seat all the way back I have about 19 centimeters legroom, and with the seat all the way front, my legs are touching the back of the driver's seat.
I have about 11 centimeters headroom, but I can have more if I adjust the backrest angle. The rear seat is about 120 centimeters wide, but there's about 150 centimeters at elbow height. There's a large tunnel running through the middle, There are 2 USB-C ports, third climate control zone, large door pockets, pockets in the backrests of the front seats, an armrest with cup holders. The backrest splits 40-20-40, which makes it possible to carry longer items between the 2 rear passengers. Isofix anchor points are on the rear side seats and on the front passenger seat.
The doors also cover the sills in the forthing, and guess what? I'm still 175 centimeters tall, and the driver's seat is still set to my driver's position. In order to make this comparison as fair as possible, I measured the distance from my knees to the dashboard and from my shins or something, ankle I guess, to the brake pedal. So the seats are set identically.
I have 22 centimeters legroom. The rear seat doesn't slide. I have about 10 centimeters headroom, and the backrest is more reclined than the position I used in the Tiguan. There is also no backrest angle adjustment in the T5. While the rear seat is wider at 130 centimeters, the elbow room is the same as in the Tiguan at 150 centimeters. The floor is flat. There is a single USB-A outlet. There is an air vent, large door pockets, only lower pockets in the front seat backrests, but there are some hooks. There are also cup holders in the armrest, but there is no pass-through to the boot, and the backrest splits 60-40. Rear passengers can adjust the front passenger seat, but Isofix anchor points are only in the rear.
The cockpit. VW has 2 large, easy-to-read screens. Thanks to the new software build, the infotainment system is no longer laggy like it used to be a couple of years ago. I'm not a fan of touch-based AC controls and those touch sliders down here, but they work reasonably well and everything is logically laid out. It's okay. But now, VW gave us a knob, a volume knob, which doubles as a drive mode controller.
The door pockets are big and flocked. There is a wireless charger for 2 phones, 2 USB-C ports. Cup holders can be moved around or removed completely, but this means storage under the armrest is open and visible to potential thieves, leaving you only with the glove box to keep anything of potential value from sight. The armrest is 2-way adjustable. The seats, here adjustable manually, are comfortable and offer good lateral support. They are heated, and so is the steering wheel. The seats also have a massage function.
The 14 cockpit looks as if someone decided to take, say, a 10-year-old Hyundai Tucson and update it on the cheap by ripping out the analog dials and replacing them with screens. As a result, the displays are reflected on the windscreen, and it's visible not only at night but also during the day.
Software is slow. The translation would be hilarious if it was a pic your mate sent you on WhatsApp, and the menu layout, well, it escapes logic. Android Auto only works with the USB dongle. Speaking of USB, there are 2 more USB-A ports in the front. One is on the console and the other one is underneath. The door pockets are large. Storage under the armrest is deep and air-cooled. The glove box is huge. The cup holders are average. The seats are comfortable in the sense that after a couple of hours in them I didn't get a backache. However, there's virtually no lateral support. The seats are heated, if you can find that option on the screen, and electrically adjusted, but without memory function.
This Tiguan test unit is powered by a 1.5-liter ETSI petrol motor. ETSI means a mild hybrid. This is the more powerful 150 horsepower variant. It works with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Claimed fuel economy is in the low 6s combined. It's achievable, barely, but still. The time from 0 to 100 km per hour time should be 9.1 seconds. There is even launch control for some reason, and that's how I got 9 seconds. In normal mode I got 9.2 seconds, so the sport mode and launch control don't really do much.
This test car is equipped with DCC Pro adaptive suspension, and like in all VW mass-market cars, it knocks on rougher surfaces. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Fortunately, on some trims, like this one, it's an option which you can skip. And you can spend the money I just saved you on a towing package. This engine variant can tow 1.8 tons, and the maximum load on the hitch and on the roof is 100 kilograms.
Handling would be okay if it wasn't for the overzealous driver aids. It seems like this generation needs to be better calibrated. Before I set off, I have to turn off not just ESA, but also lane keeping assist and front emergency braking, because they are too aggressive and there doesn't seem to be any way to adjust their sensitivity.
Other modern features include Park Assist Pro, which should be able to remember my driveway, for example, and then park itself. However, every Volkswagen and one Skoda I tested all failed to park. On the plus side, soundproofing and visibility are not bad.
Volkswagen T5, like most internal combustion engine Chinese cars imported to Europe, is powered by some sort of a petrol 1.5-liter TGDI 4-pot producing 107-ish horsepower. It's a 177 horsepower Mitsubishi power plant in this one.
By some miracle, this engine still meets Euro 6 requirements, despite it not being a mild hybrid and not having a start and stop system. Volkswagen doesn't provide official fuel economy figures, but internet sources suggest 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Combined, I guess. Driving conservatively, I managed to keep fuel consumption below 8 liters per 100 kilometers, but in the city and on motorway I quickly reached high 9s, and it's not dropping anytime soon. Claimed 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time is 9 seconds. I got 9.7, both in sport and normal mode. There is no towing data. The press office told me the tow hitch can be used for bike racks, but no weight limit was provided.
Soundproofing isn't very good, and you'll hear it especially at motorway speeds. There are no driver aids, which are mandatory in Europe since mid-2024, so that's weird. There's also not much feedback from the steering, so while the car will go in the general direction I pointed in, I need to correct quite often. The 7-speed double-clutch transmission is a Magna product, but probably not their top-shelf model. Even making a 3-point turn, or when you need to accelerate and expect a kickdown, the gearbox is as lost as a city boy in a jungle.
The visibility is horrendously bad. Wing mirrors align with the A-pillars, creating a blind spot big enough not just for people but also for cars. And I don't know according to what norms the headlights are set, but even in their lowest setting, the beam seems to go way above other cars, which leads me to assume I'm dazzling other drivers, and not in a good way. On the plus side, the suspension evens out the bumps well, and problems with visibility can be partially overcome with a 360 camera, which comes on automatically below 35 km per hour when you turn on the indicator. Price of the new Volkswagen Tiguan start at €38,250 for the base trim 131 horsepower 1.5 ETSI variant. This test car in Elegance trim and with options will set you back €55,045. Volkswagen T5 costs just about €30,000 in Poland, plus around €1,200 for the paint. I've seen it offered for about the same price in Italy and Germany.
In a vacuum, the Tiguan is a decent but pricey crossover. Also, the driver aids need recalibration. Maybe it's something that can be addressed in a future software update, but until such an update is implemented, I'd look at what the competition has to offer. So, is the 14 T5 an alternative to the Tiguan? In my opinion, the 14 is for people who have been priced out of new cars. Thanks to Chinese imports, they can once again experience that new car smell, maybe not in case of this one, and a long-term warranty. So, which one of these crossovers is up your alley and why? Let me know in the comment section below.
If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.